conference is that it's making the believers happy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're a believer and you're happy. I can see it in your faces. And those that you represent that are back home, they're happy too. Because I'm sure that they can feel and sense the spirit of this conference. And tomorrow, inshallah, when we go up on the satellite and the webcast is leading back to the 122 sites of the Nation of Islam, this whole nation is going to go up. When we were in a planning meeting for this conference, one brother looked at the schedule, and I'm getting ready to go over that schedule for today. When he looked at Saturday's portion of the schedule, one brother said, "But Brother Ali, if they do all of that, they're going to be tired out."
No, sir.
And that's true. You will be. But on the other hand, you're laborers, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
It's what you signed up for.
Yes, sir.
So I'm not even going to try to apologize. I'm not sorry that there's a whole lot of love to be done.
That's right. Yes, sir. That's what we should be doing. Go ahead. Go ahead. That's what we should be doing.
Don't get mad at me.
No, sir.
This is what the mission requires. We're not here to have a good time, although haven't you noticed we're having a good time anyhow. This is work, but at the same time it's fun.
Yes, sir.
Go back and read that section in Closing the Gap where the minister talks about fun. We're having fun. We're having big fun. Having fun. A few housekeeping chores. Big housekeeping chore. I want to read to us a letter from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Due to a logistical problem, this is not a part of your original registration package, but we have it now, and all of you will get a copy of this letter, but if it's okay, I'll read it now. It says, "In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger." September the 6th, 2007. Assalamu alaikum. Dear believer and fellow laborers in the cause of Allah, from the depth of my heart, I thank you for the effort you have made to attend this historic conference under the theme, "Make His Word Long, a New Beginning. The hereafter for my followers is now." The aim of this conference is to move us toward a new way of governing and a new way of solving problems. A way that will allow all of the believers to feel that they can make a contribution to the development of their nation, and a way that allows them to give their gifts, skills, and talents to this divine endeavor. I believe every member of the nation, including those of us who labor, feel the necessity for positive change.
Yes, sir.
And I also believe that we as a body must atone for our slowness, laziness, unwillingness, or inability to make His word bond. We cannot seek the help of Allah, who came in the person of Master Muhammad to help us do nothing. We are assured of His help if we make the decision to strive hard in His way to make His word bond. The fruit of such an effort will cause the world to see the Honorable Elijah Muhammad more clearly than ever. And in doing so, he will be lifted up as the scriptures teach, and he will draw all men unto him. I hope all attendees are ready to study and work hard to make ourselves worthy to be called his laborers in the cause of Islam. Best wishes for a successful working conference. I am your brother and servant, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Just real quickly, think back 24 hours. What were you doing 24 hours ago? You were doing intense work.
That's right.
Of deliberative dialogue in 30 perfect circles of 24 each. And under the consideration of your deliberative dialogue were some of the major issues, problems, troubles, situations that affect our nation and impede its progress. And you brought to that dialogue process your intelligence, your spirit, your love, your concern, your compassion, your will, intention to make His word your bond, taking full responsibility for your own nation and your own self. And as a result of working for a couple of hours, we were able to come up with viable solutions to 30 problems. The solutions were presented in oral form in the evening session. And inshallah, by tomorrow, you will have a written copy, not only of all of the questions and the problems, but you will have a copy of all of the solutions. You see, with modern equipment, this line can move pretty fast. We don't have to take all day and all night and all year and all century to get something done. We can get it done overnight. Think about the special presentations that we received yesterday. They all work. I'm just trying to point out what you have already received from this conference. And we just get started. This is not the end.
No, sir.
I asked my wife last night, I said, what do you think would be the result if the conference ended now? She said, well, I don't think they can go back the same way that they came. They can never go back to being the way they were before. Which means that one of the major aims of the conference has already been accomplished by the grace and help of Almighty God. There is a transformation that is taking place. The caterpillar is becoming a butterfly. Do you remember what you saw on that video of the caterpillar Did you know that inside the chrysalis, the substance of the caterpillar's body was broken all the way down into something that the scientists call a nutrient soup? Little soupy. That's the kind of liquid that contains everything that made up the used to be caterpillar. And then it reassembles inside that chrysalis into the form of a butterfly. Then the butterfly is made to struggle to come through a very narrow opening in the chrysalis so it can come out of that into the world again in its new form. And here's a critical point. When you saw that image of the butterfly, it had come out of the chrysalis that was just hanging there. If you were paying attention, it was a little bit fat looking. That was because it was sort of waterlogged, and it had to stay there for a period of time. And then internally, it had to pump the excess water into its wings. And as you notice carefully, the wings started to spread out and strengthen and elongate. Because if that butterfly were to be disturbed at that critical phase, it is not capable at that early stage of flight. It would fall down onto the ground, and even in the form of a butterfly, it would be forced to crawl on the ground like a caterpillar that it used to be. It has to stay in the process long enough so that its wings can be extended and strengthened. If it stays in that process long enough, then it's not just a little local caterpillar crawling around on a leaf. Because that monarch butterfly is capable of intercontinental flight. These butterflies that you see out here in the field, even today, in a few more months, they're going to be flying south all the way to Mexico. So that's us. That's a metaphor for us. We've been, like caterpillars.
Yes, sir.
But we're in a chrysalis now.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry about how you feel being broken down. That caterpillar was struggling, almost going through what looked like death throes. Because the old self had to die so that the new self could emerge. See, don't get ahead of the process. Don't think you can fly before you can fly. Because if you jump out there too soon, you'll soon see it. You're going to head right to the earth. You're not ready yet.
That's right.
But soon you will be. Today's program is going to be a lot of hard work. Not apologizing, I'm just giving you fair warning. You turn to your program and look at that page. It looks innocent enough, but it's some hidden difficulties in it. And I'm glad I'm not going to preside over that. Brother Michael Muhammad is actually going to preside over this statement. But let me just give a brief indication of what we're talking about. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said this about Islam. He said, mere belief counts for nothing. Nothing. Unless, what? Carried into practice. You got to implement it. You got to do something on the basis of your belief. dialogue.
Yes, sir.
And you see the benefit of it and the learning of it and the power of it and the magnificence of it. But if that's all that there is, it counts for nothing. See, if the conference ended right now, we could all say we had a nice time, the spirit was good, but ultimately it would count literally for nothing, and it would just be a waste of time and money. We got to get into the implementation phase to make it real. And that's where we are now in our conference process. When we were going over the plan for this conference, the thing that the minister, and I remember when he was looking at the letter where we were describing what we intended to do with the conference, and there was a phrase there that said, the science of man. I can see it in my mind's eye now. His finger went right to that. He said, that's it, brother. That's the most important part of this conference. The science of management. That's what we have to come away from this conference with. The science of management. Not just a problem list. We didn't have to have no conference to know we got problems. So the meat of the conference is beginning today. Now the solution, I'm going to be real quick here, the solution to the problems or the steps of implementation will try your patience. Because right now, you think, perhaps, that this thing is going to be easier than it actually is. No, it's harder than you think. It's going to take longer than you think. And when you get confronted with the difficulty of what you are committed to, then you may lose patience. And you may say, why we got to go through all of this? Why don't we just, and then you'll name something that you want to just jump into without preparation. And there you go, hitting the deck again. Don't you want to be successful? We don't want to be losers. We want to be winners. We don't get a conference to lose.
No, sir.
So there's three phases. Who has to do this work of implementation? We do. Now say it. There you go. Say it. I do. If nobody else does it, I do. If everybody else sit down and do nothing, I do. Now we found out we're not by ourselves. We got one another. We hooked up. We linked up, so we know we got each other's back. But in your mindset, you have to look at it like it's what I have to do. So then self-improvement comes into play. Because let's be honest now, we do need to atone because of all of our faults and shortcomings. And it's our faults and our shortcomings that prevent us from doing the work that needs to be done. So therefore, we cannot be satisfied with our faults and shortcomings and hope Allah will forgive us. We have to go to work to become better as individuals. So the first phase of our work today is for each and every one of us to take out a pen, open up the notebook to the proper pages, and Brother Michael will instruct you, and you're going to write your individual plan of success. Because the nation can't be successful if you're a failure. Then the second phase is run up. And you have to be very flexible today. We're going to ask you at certain points to pick up your chairs and move into different groupings. We're going to recreate the circles that we had yesterday. Then after that, we're going to have another kind of circle. And after that, we're going to have a third type of circle. So you have to be flexible. Don't get stuck someplace. Like you think that's your spot, you can't be moved. Or you won't move. And don't leave your stuff behind like we did yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Pick up your stuff and move it with you then by the end of this day, we will have our individual work plans. A mosque work plan that includes the 9 ministries and the beginnings of a plan for each of the ministries. And then we'll complete the process of forming the ministries on tomorrow, inshallah. So that's what we have to do. So I can't promise you that you won't get tired. But what did the minister tell us? That the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told him, seek assistance, patience, and prayer. So you may have to put that into effect today. Otherwise, you might not make it. All right? I think, let me make sure, Minister, you can cover the issue about, in order to make this work, we need to call on the facilitators. One more time today, you're going to facilitate in the circles this time to help people to write their plans. And those of you who brought your flash drives as part of your conference equipment, or stick drives, or jump drives, or all different things, then you can see Brother James over at the table sometime during the course of the day to download the all of the 7 videos, all of the PowerPoint presentations, all of the artwork, all of the special presentations that you saw yesterday, all of the tape called The Nation of Islam, the next 50 years, the audio tape, and all of the ongoing sessions, the problem list, the solutions, the reports, all that's going to be downloadable on your flash drive. So that when you leave here, you will leave here not empty-handed, but you will leave here with everything. You don't have to remember it all. It's going to be on your flash drive. That's why the next time we have a conference, we have to be allowed to bring our laptops into the conference. This is modern times. This is not the old days. These are the new days. All right. And I want you to think about something as I bring on Brother Michael. Listening to that magnificent presentation by our mother. The thought just came to me, and I'm just putting it out there as a thought for you to think about. Then maybe in the future we can dialogue about it, but the thought just came to me today. Why don't we have an Honorable Elijah Muhammad is alive conference?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Devoted to that one subject.
Yes, sir.
Of proving that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is alive. And so without any further delay, let me bring before you our main presenter for today. He's a hard taskmaster.
Yes, sir.
Because this brother here, the only thing he cares about is results. So I'm warning you right now, he's mean. No, he's not. He's very, very intelligent, very, very skillful. He's able to